Happy 4th of July to our American friends. And guys, welcome to the premiere episode of What's Poppin'. Yes, the show.
The
What
first
we're going
one
to talk
ever.
about. Yeah, we're going to talk
Yep.
about what's poppin' in pop culture. That's pretty much what it is. So, yes, I know you're used to the comic stuff, and we're still going to talk comics, but I know we all share some of the same interests: music, sports, movies, cinema, you name it. We're going to talk about it. But guys, I cannot do this alone. No, I've got my co-hosts, Anthony and Chiapet. So, Chia, Anthony, what's going on, boys?
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to do this. The first one, guys. This is the first of many. I'm hyped. I don't know what else I could possibly say.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, I think this is look, we're basically just taking our awesome conversations that we have
Yeah.
and we're broadcasting to the world. And the world is better for it, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I had such a good time talking Loki with you guys. I'm just hyped to do it again, man. And it doesn't even have to be Loki now. It could be anything.
Well, there's
Literally-
some Loki adjacent news coming, maybe a little bit later on, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But yes, we're going to talk about many things. I saw in the chat people were talking about the hot dog eating contest. Now, I don't know if we're going to go that far, but yes, we're going to talk about some of the big stuff. Of course, most of it being comic related, but again, music will be thrown into the conversations. We're going to talk sports, especially, we all have common interests. We're watching the Euro Cup, which I'd rather not talk about. Derek, I know you're here. I saw you in the chat. Feel free to roast Italy. They deserve it, to be honest with you. But yeah, man, we're going to talk sports. We're going to talk everything. So looking forward to this. We spoke about doing this for quite some time because, been wanting to branch out. Yes, obviously talking comics. I've played music for a good portion of, I would say since I was 16 till about 25 years old, and then stopped playing the music scene, and now I just play my electric drum set behind me, even though not exactly a drummer. But yeah, man, so we're gonna get into a lot of cool conversations, and yeah, welcome to What's Poppin'. So let's kick it off, guys. We're gonna get into some fun stuff now. Anthony, you're used to this because you're part of the Reference Point Podcast, right? You guys already are talking a lot of stuff, pop culture related, movies, cinema, and great things with OAR TV. Fill us in on that stuff.
Yeah, Reference Point to do a lot of movie reviews, show reviews. What I like about this show is I can finally talk sports, something I don't have the opportunity to do on my show.
Grab
because
it, stop being on the sports, eh?
Those
Grab
guys
it,
don't know sports. Even my brother, he knows
and your
wrestling.
bro.
That's it. They know nothing. You can't talk sports with them.
Yeah.
So, other than that, we've been doing a lot of reels. Actually, a lot of people started hating on us a little bit because I mentioned an opinion on the ACOLYTE. So now that was quite fun.
Guaranteed gonna get reactions.
Now hang tight, because the Acolyte, we have a big topic for that tonight, man. Because
we got called everything from just the worst people in the world to lesbians to just what you can name. They called us anything and everything. It was wow. Some people, the minds, man.
Yeah, but look, of course, with any conversation, there's always going to be an opposition. Somebody's going to agree or disagree, whatever it may be. Now, the Acolyte, it's funny you bring it up because it's going to be a big topic tonight later on, because we see a lot of, a divided group of people online. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'll tell you guys where I stand later. I think you pretty much are aware if you're listening to me on Sundays, but yeah, we'll dive into that, because the reviews seem to be one thing, but the actual numbers are another. So we'll get into some of that stuff. But chat, I see you all here. I just want to say thank you all for coming to hang out. Appreciate all of you. I know Sundays we go through the regular, shout outs, but we're going to give you a quick episode. We want to keep this 1 hour and just, go through all the fun stuff. Now, in order to do that,
we're
going to have to kick it off. Yeah, we're going to have to kick it off with the speed round. That's right. So basically, we're going to go through the speed round. Now, here are the rules for the speed round. Number one, a topic will be presented, right? So we're going to present topics, and we're going to go through each member here on the panel and have 1 minute to speak about that topic. Now, at the end of this, there is no prize, right? That is going to be awarded to anybody. No, this is just our way of preventing Chia from speaking too much, right? So if you're familiar with Chia, you know exactly how he does. So I'm going to give you guys 1 minute countdowns for each topic that we're going to get into. And if you think I'm playing, I've got my timer. It's ready, guys. The timer is going. Okay, so we're going to kick it off. I'll restart the timer. Now, the first topic at hand This right here, Ryan Reynolds shared a new Deadpool and Wolverine set picture recreating Taylor Swift's Evermore album cover. Now, I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to see this. I thought it was hilarious, but guys, the tease goes back and forth. If they say she's in the movie, she's not in the movie. She's in the movie, she's not in the movie. What do you think is going on with this little tease? Anthony, I'll let you kick it off. Go.
So first off, Taylor Swift. Nope, don't like her, but not her music. Her as a person, I don't know. I never met her. That being said, funny photo. I liked it. I laughed. Is she in the movie? Maybe, maybe not. I don't. I think if she's in it, she's gonna be playing herself. I don't think she's playing Dazzler like everyone in the world is saying. I think she's gonna play herself because it'd be funnier in a Deadpool movie to have her play herself than have her be an actual X-Men character. And I don't want her to be Dazzler, or rather to get a real actress. You know, that countdown is getting to me, man.
The pressure's on, buddy.
Yeah, it's on. So, I'm excited for this movie. Ryan Reynolds, cool photo. Maybe find a better musician to copy. And, I think that's it.
Better than Taylor Swift.
Oh, I can think of a few.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I do think this is an awesome.
I'm a hater.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome tease over the fact that we've heard she's in it, she's not in it, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
All right, buzzer's off. Buzzer's off. Chia, it's your turn, sir.
Listen, first off, the marketing in general for this movie has been exceptional. Ryan Reynolds loves to be cheeky about whatever he does. So it makes sense that he would know this because he knows that the audience expects her to be in it. He probably was sitting. He's very also, by the way, this is why I hate all the Taylor Swift hate, because I think Ryan Reynolds is a pretty smart dude, whether it's his aviation gin, Mint Mobile, anything he's done. If he's riding with her and they're very close friends, that means I think she's a pretty cool dude or pretty cool chick. So regardless of her music, which I do not like, I think if she's doing a cameo, I also think it'll be not playing an X-Men character, even though I would love her to be Dazzler, because Dazzler is kind of pop culture reference, larger than life, cool, big star. But regardless, she's probably going to be in there. It might even just be a moment, a needle drop with her music, and then gone for about their love affair, and that's it. Maybe his ex-wife and all that. So that's all it's going to be.
All right, buzzer's off. Buzzer's off. Now, I'll kick off my timer for myself, of course. I think personally, it's genius. Now, we've seen the talks of Taylor Swift possibly being in the movie. Spec-wise, we've heard Lady Deadpool, we've heard Dazzler, we've heard all of this fun stuff. Then we got the news where apparently she's no longer in the movie. I think the fact that Ryan Reynolds is teasing this, I don't know if he's just riding the wave over the fact, like the news came out. He's clearly keeping an eye on things that are being said, right?
100%.
Exactly. So that being said, I don't know if he's having fun with this, but the build-up to the movie has been phenomenal. Kind of what you said, Chiapet. So I'm looking forward now that, the movie's about to release and they've been dropping trailers with literally the same footage over and over and over, and it's working, dude. The campaigning that they're doing on the side has been absolutely incredible. I think, like you said, Ryan Reynolds is a genius, especially when it comes to stuff like this. So, yeah, man. I hope she's in the movie. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm Team Taylor. Let's go.
Oh, Team Taylor.
Oh.
Team Taylor. Team Taylor.
Side note, how cool was the Avengers, the Anarchy caps?
Oh, dude, that was amazing.
This is how you know it. It dropped, the logo dropped somewhere online, then he started wearing a cap. Everything is planned, guys.
Yeah.
Everything they've done now, everything they revealed, there might be so many swerves and lies here.
Yeah.
Don't put it past them. Half the stuff we saw may be fake.
Now, Chia, you had 1 minute, sir. So we're gonna move to the next topic.
But that wasn't about that topic. It was about an adjacent topic.
That's fair. We'll give you that one. But
he's already cheating the time in the first episode. I can't believe this.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's get to the next topic, guys.
You ain't trying, Anthony. And you're a Bruins fan. You should know this.
I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if you saw this, but producer Avi Arads shared somewhat hopeful news on the Metal Gear Solid movie. Now he says, we're working on the script some more, but I can't talk about it yet. I think everyone's going to be really excited and surprised. So I know, Anthony, you said you don't have too much to say about this, but the timer has started. So feel free. It's all yours.
Okay, so Avi Arad, horrible producer. Horrible. Why is he doing this project? This project, I remember hearing Oscar Isaac was supposed to play Snake, and the guy from Kong Skull Island was directing it. I don't know if it's still that or if they just changed it. I never actually played these games, so I don't really know much about it. Like, I'm a pretty big gamer, but these are kind of my blind spot. So that being said, Avi already kind of ruined Spider-Man. He ruined Spider-Man 3. He ruined a lot of movies for people. You know, he kind of almost killed the franchise until they went back to the MCU, and that's a fact. So maybe he'll kill this franchise before it even starts. Who knows? Anything's possible.
Yeah. We're going to burn you these 15 seconds, but dude,
I'll give them to Chia. You know, he needs them
Yeah,
more than I do.
he's going to need it more. So, yeah, Chia, take it away. Timer's on.
I would not. I'm not going to go. It's a family show, so I'm not going to say what I want to say about that
It is not
terrible human being, Avi Arad. I want him gone from every franchise. If you want to kill a franchise, put him on it. I can't stand that man. The things that he's done to Venom, I'm so angry that people go see that movie and keep giving him success.
Yeah.
He's been behind every atrocity Sony has done in every comic. The only reason Into the Spider-Verse took off is because they thought a cartoon wouldn't make money and they didn't focus on it. Anything they touch, have you people seen Madam Web?
Nope.
It's unwatchable. This movie is going to be destroyed, and it's such a great concept. Disgusting.
Yep. Well, there you go. Buzzer time. So, the time's up. It even tells you that the time's up, bro. So, yeah, I'm going to run my clock. Now, Chia, kind of, again, piggybacking off of what you said, I'm pumped over the fact that Metal Gear Solid is going to have a live action. It's a movie I definitely want to see, but the producer behind it, exactly like you guys said, is what kind of concerns me here. So
better not have a movie.
Yeah, dude, you guys mentioned Spider-Man being a certain thing. I didn't mind Spider-Man 2 though. I will say, and that was Sam Raimi, so I don't care too much, right? But Metal Gear Solid is such a precious premium video game for Sony. Like, you cannot botch that. And we saw Uncharted, right? You guys watched Uncharted with Tom Holland?
Yes.
Terrible.
It was terrible. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it one bit. Like, I actually fell asleep a few times. So I'm gonna hope for the best when it comes to this, but the producer behind it scares the shit out of me. So there you go. Buzzer time. I got the buzzer.
I just want to throw in, I love the Uncharted games. I've played them so many times. I remember going and watching the movie, and when it ended, I was like, why the fuck did I come watch it? Like, why?
Yeah. Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
God, what were they thinking, man? And
people
they're going to make a
are like-
sequel now.
Are like the people that always go back to the abusive relationship and thinking that, oh, it's going to be better this time.
Yeah, no,
It'll
it's not
never be good.
Not the case.
Ever.
Yep.
Ever.
Just want
And
to.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 was good, and then he put himself into Spider-Man 3 and shoehorned all the stuff in there and ruined everything. Anyways, yeah.
I gotta say, Spider-Man 2 is my favorite movie of all time. I love Spider-Man 2, but like that was like before Avi Arad got his like hands all over Sony and he had decided, oh, I actually know what's best for everyone.
Yeah. Pacino saying that he's going to destroy this amazing franchise.
Yes.
I think that's what we all feel. So we're all in unison here.
Derek, too many places. Too many places on the doll.
Mostly the butt.
Yeah, C Bizzle's in the house. What's going on, C Bizzle, man? Appreciate you coming to hang out. But let's get into the next topic, because at hand, the Euro Cup is underway. And I don't think we need a minute here. Let's just go through this real quick. But yes, Italy being eliminated is not the worst news to come from the weekend, to be honest with you. For me, it's the fact that the coach is going to be there for also the World Cup. So in my eyes, we're pretty much doomed out the gate. Now, Derek, yes, this is your moment. Feel free, roast everybody. But guys, I'm going to ask you real quickly. We have Spain, we have Germany, we got Portugal, we got France, Netherlands, we got Turkey, and of course we have England and Switzerland. So with what we have here, now tomorrow games are taking place. We got those big 4 games, the 2 games tomorrow. Spain, Germany, Portugal, France. Who do you guys think is advancing, and who do you think is going to probably take this one home?
Portugal to the end. To the end, they're taking it.
Okay.
Because they got Homelander leading the team. That guy will not let his teammates down because he will kill them if they do. So, I pretty much stopped watching after Italy got out. That's pretty much all I follow. So my soccer knowledge kind of sucks a little bit, but you know.
Yeah. Gia, where are you going?
I'm not rooting for Portugal. I'm just saying I think they're going to win. I just want to say, I want to make that clear. I am not rooting for them.
That's fair.
Is Anthony conceding me a minute and a half now instead of just a minute?
No, there's no minutes for this one. This one, I
I
figured.
had to throw it in.
Short take.
Okay, so quick take. I say coming out of this is going to be Spain, Portugal, no, Spain, France, Netherlands, because I can't vote for Turkey. Sorry, ancient Greek rivalry, and England, and then England and Netherlands takes out England, and I would say Spain takes out France, and then we get France over Netherlands. That's how it's going to end. A little side note on the Azzurri, as you guys both know, they call the Italian side the Azzurri, and in Greek they call cucumber aguri. And a long time ago, when Italy was playing in the Euro, I was working with an Italian friend, and he was very big in Greek in soccer, and he was always brag about Italy. And then when they lost in another traumatic upset, leaf-like upset, I remember texting him in because he was married to a Greek woman and said, "The Azzurri ate the aguri," which means
You weren't even on a timer, but I'm buzzing you just because. Yeah, it's funny because auguri in Italian means congratulations. So
Yeah.
well, it wasn't congratulations that I was saying.
Trust me, I could tell.
I'm gonna go wild card. I'm gonna say that it's gonna be a Germany Netherlands final, man, and I think Germany annihilates and takes it home. That's where I stand. Yeah. So we'll see. Look, it's in Germany, guys. They've got all the momentum behind them. They've been playing very strong. Spain played pretty strong as well. So basically, whoever comes out of that game tomorrow, I really think goes all the way. But I'm gonna say Germany out of those two and out of everybody. So we shall see. But yes, Derek saying the Blues give BC the Blues. Exactly. What's going on, Ninja? Appreciate you being here. Now let's move on to the next topic, and we'll get the timer back in action because we also had free agent frenzy take place on Canada Day, of course. So Canada Day for us Canadians, well, yes, it is very important for us as a nation, but I think majority of us look more forward to the free agent frenzy. So guys, my question to you is, what'd you think of the free agent frenzy and who was the big winner? Kick it off.
We got to say Nashville, Stamkos and Marchessault. Like, what the hell? I didn't see that coming from Nashville. Good for them.
Yeah.
Although, Boston, my team, they get Elias Lindholm and Nikita Zadorov, two big pickups who I cannot wait to see play. Finally, we're gonna get a number one center for the team. Come on,
calm down. Oh,
come on. I'm just saying, I'm happy with the moves Boston did. Elias Lindholm is a bit of a long contract, yeah, but we needed the center desperately. So maybe now Pasternak's gonna hit 70 goals now that he has a real centerman playing with him instead of Pavel Zacha.
All right, well, Chia, he finished way before the buzzer, so time is yours. Go.
Oh, we're back on a buzzer?
Yeah, it's all you.
We better be, because if I start ranting about Ken Hughes doing nothing, it's going to be a long rant.
Yeah, he did.
So, listen, great draft, terrible free agency so far. Not that actually only free agency, because there wasn't that many other than I would have went after maybe Marchessault on a short deal. Stamkos I would have went after, but he had no intentions of coming here, especially not a tax-free state. And then there was basically, I would have liked, to be honest, a Tarasenko. I was always a fan. And if Kane was a free agent, they were going to go after him. So I won't concede that. I will concede that. But they needed to add extra players in the top six. And if he doesn't do it during a trade, it'll be a very bad summer, because he had a JF. You know what I'm saying is true. Stop chiming in and distracting me. Now, the winner has to be Nashville. Trotz has brought in a lot of winners there, but the reality is, as many as winners as they are, have they really reached a level where they could compete against Vegas and Edmonton?
Vegas and Edmonton. No,
Maybe
in my
Edmonton.
opinion, no.
No.
I'll give you my minute as well.
Side note. Okay, go.
No. I enjoy the conversation because there is a lot to discuss when it comes to this. I agree with you guys. I think that
people saying that Tampa Bay Lightning went crazy and it got that much better. I guess conceptually, I agree with what they did, and move on from your guy. I understand that, but is Gunsel that? My brother thinks it's a great acquisition, but I'm not sold on Gunsel being that much of an upgrade over Stamkos. I'm just saying it.
I don't blame you.
So we'll see.
Also, I don't know who just said DeBrusque was a good signing for Vancouver. The guy's been, he was a flop in Boston. He desperately needed a change, so I kind of can't blame him for leaving. But I don't know how good he's going to be in Vancouver. I don't think he's the greatest player
So
of all
BC,
time.
your turn. Because
No, I was just gonna say. I do think the Gensel signing was a bit puzzling, bro. And I agree with Pacino saying that Tampa got worse.
I think so.
They got rid of Sergachev too.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
myself, it's kind of like when you factor the money that was being spent here, right, in between the contracts, is why would you let Stamkos go for that coin, right? Like I understand there was maybe the amount of years wasn't.
I think they wanted to get younger, because even with the Sergachev, listen, as soon as I think I told you guys right away in the chat we had, as soon as McDonough went back there, I go Sergachev is gone.
Yeah.
Why?
Mhm.
Because they have to use a chip to get younger,
Yeah.
to be able to ride with the other guys. So they're not trading Hedman. There's no way, right?
Yeah.
And I remember saying, I go, dude, McDonough's there. They're going to move on from Sergachev because they're going to use him because he's always injury prone, right? It's a little bit of a concern I have with Gouli as well. So he's always a little bit injury prone. So they're like, oh, you know what? Let's use Sergachev, move out the money. And they got Morgan Geekie. I think Morgan Geekie or the other Geekie. Anyways, I'm not sure which one it is.
No, I think they got Connor Geekie.
But he's good. He's supposed to be really, really good. And they had no draft picks, so they needed to retool a little bit on that thing, right? So they used Sergachev to get younger. McDonough will be a stopgap, and they're just going to sign somebody else afterwards for a defense.
Yeah, Chia hijacked my entire minute, but I was going to say exactly this.
You said you weren't going to do a minute.
It's fine, don't worry. Pacino brings up another point that we were talking about in the chat, is that, a lot of 30-year-olds getting 7 to 8 year deals is pretty insane, because it kind of reminds me of what was Shea Weber's signing?
Yeah.
It was a contract of such, right? And then he
was older, and they and front loaded by Philadelphia, tried to rip him away from Nashville that he signed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kraken dropped $50 million on Montour.
Yeah,
madness. Dude, Montour's good. He's had 2 good years in a good system in Florida. I'm like, man, what's that guy going? Gustafson went? No, who went there? Frosling went to Florida. He was a nobody, and he ended up being good.
Yeah,
that system may be
the
elevating
Kraken
certain
spent
players.
a lot of money this year.
And Stevenson too.
Yeah, that was the other guy I was thinking of. That they signed for so much. I'm like, but why?
Like I don't blame Hughes for not going after these guys, but I do blame him not using assets because he has too many of them not to augment the top 6.
Exactly.
That's what I blame him on.
Yeah.
And moving out Deadwood.
Yeah. But all right, like I said, we could talk forever about hockey, but we'll keep it going because this is still the speed round. And guys, Pacino, I see you're in the chat. And obviously, you brought this back to our attention, but news broke in March regarding this. Transformers trading cards for 40th anniversary coming from Dynamite Entertainment. I think this is awesome because they're celebrating the 40 years. Now, the company's announced, the release is one part of a massive program from the toy giant that includes over 40 anniversary figures and an extensive list of licensed products from a wide range of licensees, all carrying the special anniversary logo. Now, I love cards. I do collect, and I completely shied away from the Pokemon stuff. I went crazy on the 151. I really did. But now, I'm going to be honest, this gave me the itch. I definitely want to be picking this up. I think the Transformers 40th anniversary stuff looks amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but they're also, bringing back the nice one. Yeah, you got the Marvel cover right there. Look at the art. It looks amazing.
I love that Sienkiewicz cover. It's so nice.
Yeah, but guys, you don't even need a full minute to talk about this. But what do you guys think about this? I know you don't entirely both collect cards, right? Chia, I'm not too sure. Anthony, not so much.
I actually do buy quite a few cards, complete sets for movies and whatnot. I like the other week I bought the Into the Spider-Verse set, the whole thing. And I also got No Way Home. But Transformers, I've never been the biggest Transformers fan. I'm gonna be real. I like the first Michael Bay movie. I like the Bumblebee movie. The rest kind of all suck. So, and I didn't grow up with G1 and whatnot. So I always loved these designs. Looking at these cards, I'm like, wow, these look fucking awesome. But
right,
I'm not gonna pretend I'm gonna buy these. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm going for it, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, Pacino is saying let's order, and I'm totally down. I might go for this box right here. The cards look great. I just think it's awesome, man. They're very well presented. I think these look good in those little slabs, right, man?
Yeah.
So
I really like the art on them. I'm gonna be honest. Awesome designs and whatnot. They're really nice looking.
Yeah. Chia, what's your take before we get into it? Steve, Hip Hops and me. Team Nerd Herd in the house, man. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you being here. But talk to me,
What's up,
Chia.
sir?
Talk to me about this.
Look, I'm a massive Transformers fan. When Optimus died in 1986, the movie, it was
You
traumatic.
died.
Yeah, it was traumatic. Well, look, I have a bit of a problem because when I was young, I used to get into movies really much, like a lot, like the point where when Superman had the kryptonite around his neck, I started pacing as a little chubby 5-year-old up and down the aisle. When Luke was hanging underneath Cloud City, I was like screaming, "No, Luke, don't die, Luke!" And my dad was trying to hold me down, like this is embarrassing for the whole family. But you know what? I've always loved my properties, and this. It's a thumbs up for me, and I do like cards that are kind of associated to comics and this and that. So I'm all on this. I'd love, hopefully again reorder some of this stuff because I'm definitely trying to get a whole set of this. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, I don't remember what the box is called for this one here.
But even the box is so cool, like that. Like the box itself is just killer. Like it feels like you're buying an old toy back in the day. The nostalgia book gets us, you know.
Yeah, but remind me. I don't think this is not the booster box, right, or whatever it's called. But regardless, this set right here, it's approximately 120 to 130 Canadian, like Pacino said. And yeah, man, I think it's awesome. I am gonna probably pick this up. I think this is a definite grab. But guys, although we said it's the speed round, we're gonna slow things down now. The speed round is pretty much done. We got rid of the buzzard for this conversation and a few other topics.
Speed round.
Yeah, I got hijacked on the speed round.
That I did it. It's sports.
Yeah, C Bizzle says the only one I am looking for is Soundwave. Yeah, dude, who doesn't love Soundwave, man? But let's get into some other conversations, some topics. We're gonna slow it down, take as much time as you want here on these topics. But guys, tell me you saw this. Tobey, yeah, man. You had Eminem drop this track with Baby Tron and Big Sean. Now, it was a banger, totally different from Houdini, right? This one was dropping some big lines from front to back.
Yeah.
So let me just read through this, and then we'll go through some of what we thought about it. But Eminem here, fresh off announcing a July 12th release date. So that's right, guys. We're going to be getting this next week for his upcoming album, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace. Eminem is showing love for his hometown with his new single, Tobey, featuring fellow Detroiters Big Sean and Baby Tron. Fans were perplexed when the track didn't drop at the assumed midnight hour because that's when it was scheduled for, but he officially released it 12 hours later. Right down to the single cover art, which riffs off a Spider-Man meme. Tobey refers to the comic franchise, and one of its film stars, Tobey Maguire, got bit by a spider, but see me, it was a goat. Begins the track, and you hear it again at the end, man. I thought it was awesome, man. Like the track's a banger. Totally different from Houdini. Houdini was like radio friendly and whatever. It was a bit weird, right? Out the gate, people were like, what's he doing? But this was solid. I loved every second of this song. What do you guys think?
I'm not the biggest Eminem fan, so I'm like, yeah, I know. I could already see Chia looking at me. He's already upset at me, you know. But I didn't really like Houdini. I thought it was an okay track. I didn't find it to be the banger that everyone was saying. This one I liked a lot more. This one was like a much better vibe for me. Thing is, I'm not his biggest fan, so I'm not gonna pretend like I was like super excited. I'm like, oh, I can't wait for July 12th. So I'm kind of just like, oh, this is a good listen. I'm not bad for Eminem.
Not bad for Eminem.
I'm trying not to buzz you. Right
I know.
Now.
I can hear the boos from the comments section. I don't even have to read them.
Forget buzzing him, dude. Get him off the mute his mic.
No, never.
Mute his mic.
All right, Chia, take it away, man. What'd you think?
Clearly, I'm on the opposite end of my good friend Anthony Tony Kortheiser to my Michael Wilbon on this one. I mean, Eminem, when he calls himself the GOAT, it's arguably anywhere in the top 5. Mix and match, whatever you want. Listen, I grew up as a Tupac fan, so it's like the MJ versus LeBron, and it'll always be a little bit there. But when you listen to how he sets up his raps and how he's going to rap 3 times in the same sentence to the next sentence, like it's a completely different structure to everybody else. And then you're listening to this track and you listen to Houdini, and they're completely different tracks, and they both have incredible lyrics.
Yep.
Like when you listen to what they're saying and how he's phrasing it, that thing about Melly Mel and about the goat, and then he goes at the end how he says it, and you're like, yeah, you are. So obviously you're upset about that. Like, like it's almost as if people forgot about Dre. Remember that? Now people forgot about Eminem, I think. And I don't know. For me, this album so far, it's 2 for 2. And I love the fact that the tracks are totally different. Like you said, one's like a radio-friendly track. This one is like dark and a little bit broody and like kind of like has a different kind of vibe. So I'm just expecting the whole album to be one of those fire albums the way he did. Now, Anthony, I forgive him. He grew up in an era of mumble rap and thinks that what's his name again? Not Drake. It's even worse.
Don't say Drake. Don't say Drake. No.
What's the bald guy from Florida?
Not There's many bald guys from Florida, bro.
No. Pitbull. He thinks Pitbull is the epitome of music. This guy. You know what I mean? Like that's what he grew up with. Come on, that's what it is, Mr. Worldwide. Come on. That's what
you don't love Fireball. Everyone loves Fireball. Come on, such a banger of a track when it comes on at the wedding.
Fireball. I do not love Fireball.
When it comes on at the wedding, everyone's on the dance floor.
No. I'm a little bit older than you guys. I prefer when they bring out the freestyle at the weddings. When they bring out the Shaka Khan. If they bring out the Shaka Khan, ain't nobody. That's when you know the dance floor is going crazy. But that's because I'm on the older set. But like I said, you guys the young kids are not into actual music because rap now is terrible. I tell my nephew this all the time. Across the board.
Yep.
So listen to it, learn, and appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm just
Rappers alike. That's it, JF.
I gotta say for the audience, I never said Pitbull was better than Eminem before anyone starts accusing me online, and like the ACOLYTE all over again.
You totally did, and even if you didn't,
it's fake news, guys.
No, it's done. It's done. You're a big fan of Pitbull.
Yeah. Guys, as we're recording this live, Pacino updating us that it's 1-0 Argentina because, of course, Copa is going on. Leftero saying number 1 is Tupac, 2 is Kendrick, 3 is Nas, 4 is Biggie, and 5 is Pacino. I'll agree with 3 of those. But yeah, man.
Pacino, one of them?
Yeah, of course, Pacino's the OG. He's it doesn't get better. The guy spits like nobody else. But yeah, man, dude, I agree with you, especially the wedding stuff. Yeah, man, there's certain bangers. Like once we start kicking it old school on the dance floor, it becomes another ball game. Although Chiapet, I always thought you were one of those line dancers at the wedding, doing the tarantela. But yeah, man, for Chiapet, it's the Zorba.
No, you know what? That's the least sophisticated of all the Greek songs.
Yeah.
Like the Zorba. It's a very heavy song. It's not really a wedding song.
I don't trust you at weddings. You're smashing plates, bro. But look,
no, guys. Honestly, I've been to like countless Greek weddings. There's not many plate smashing anymore. It's too expensive.
Last Greek wedding I went to, we got in trouble for how many we were smashing, bro. It was really
okay.
bad.
So you guys,
they go up.
Yes, that's when you're riding with the real OGs.
Yeah.
They grab the stack, not throwing them.
Yeah. We're
breaking
just
them that way. That's the way you gotta break. That's the way you gotta break.
Yeah.
The guys who are tossing it don't know what they're doing.
No, exactly. I had a colleague who is Iranian. I felt so bad for him. He literally took the plate, guys. Greek weddings, kind of like we were just talking about. Chiapet is very familiar, but yeah, they put out a towel on the dance floor and they're breaking plates. They put a stack, they're punching through it, they're smashing the plates on the floor. Now I had one guy, my Iranian colleague. I felt so bad. Takes a plate. No. He takes the plate, dude. He goes to smash it on the floor. It doesn't even smash. It just bounces off the floor and hits the mother, bro. It hits the mother of the bride. So yeah, that took place. But anyways, let's keep it rolling because we got other things to talk about.
Watch out for bouncing plates.
You went from Eminem to Nickelback?
We're going to Nickelback. Guys, I don't know if you saw this. I just wanted to bring it up, but I was scrolling through Netflix and I came across the documentary Hate to Love Nickelback. And I swear to God, no matter how much we all have taken a massive jab at Nickelback, at least once in our lifetime, the documentary was pretty damn good. In fact, I listened to Nickelback this morning after watching it last night.
Come on. The only thing that's acceptable is the track from Spider-Man 1 that the main guy
Hero.
did. That's the
Hero.
only thing. Hero, exactly. Only thing acceptable.
I'm so high.
I
Listen,
can feel heaven.
listen. I do not hate Nickelback.
Yeah.
I love making fun of Nickelback. I think it's incredible. It's a great time, but I don't hate Nickelback. But to everybody else's credit, I have
Yeah.
very bad taste in a lot of stuff. Like I
we
love
could tell.
cheesy stuff. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Except for Eminem. I love. I consume a lot of.
You don't like Pitbull, no?
No, like I mean, I could. I have a very high tolerance for radio tracks. Like I could see the appeal of a radio track, if you get what I'm trying to say. So Nickelback falls into that zone. So it has a little bit of a nostalgia thing. If you're on a long road trip and it comes on, you could kind of like.
Nah, hold on, Gia. Hold on. Okay, you're talking radio-friendly stuff, how you remind me and all that stuff. But if you put on a Nickelback album, you listen to songs like Animals, Flat on the Floor, that stuff is a banger. Those are some solid riffs.
I haven't listened to their album, only radio level. I wouldn't download the Nickelback album the way I'll download a GNR album.
At no point
Sure,
in time,
sure. He's covering
at no
up.
point in time in my life did I ever think I'd be live on a stream on YouTube with people here who can publicly see me defending Nickelback, and here I am. It was a good documentary, so that's all I'm gonna say. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
But you know what?
I'm
You know how much money they've made?
Oh,
They're
dude,
like one of the
Yeah.
most successful Canadian bands in the history of bands.
forget Canadian bands in general. Bands in
Yeah.
general, especially in a modern time, in a modern world where a lot of things are streaming platforms and so forth, they were banging out. And if you watch the documentary, like they had at one point when Hero came out for Spider-Man, they had How You Remind Me, they had multiple songs topping the Billboard top 10 charts, and they were touring and touring and touring, and like they were getting so much success. Although they were getting so much hate, the success was still there, bro. People were showing up, they were making a killing. So
there's a lot of fans in the closet for Nickelback, you know. I think
Yeah,
that's what it is.
100%. There's so many. Completely.
But I'm certain this documentary is much better than their music, so you know, maybe
Yeah,
I'll check
no.
it out. Figure it out.
for sure. Hey, like I said, they have some bangers. I am not pro Nickelback, but they're enjoyable. They're a guilty pleasure. Now, Cliff, I will never defend Frank Miller's current art. I will tell you that. So I'll leave it at that.
I'm in for Frank Miller's current art sometimes too.
Absolutely.
I know Chiapet bought that Wolverine cover and he loved
No,
it.
the Wolverine one I couldn't accept. That was unacceptable. But the Thanos one was kind of cool.
That was okay.
The Moon Knight
was
worked.
horrible.
The
No,
Moon Knight worked.
no.
I disagree. The Moon Knight worked.
Moon Knight was the only one that I really said
Guys.
like this is like a passable cover, you know.
No,
Guys,
the
Frank Miller
Daredevil
has-
one, the Daredevil one looks like he has back problems. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I was not
But
interested at all.
Frank has never been about, like, other than his Daredevil run a little bit and probably the Wolverine limited series, his other work has been always weird and scratchy. Like, have you seen Sin City?
Yeah,
He
of
draws
course,
like
of course.
that. It's just that it's black and white and you don't realize it.
I
And
get it.
everybody's like a larger kind of thing. Now, you know what I mean? Like now when you're colored and stuff and everything, it's a different vibe.
I think his Uncle Scrooge cover was pretty funny. I just looked at it; it just kind of made me laugh. Like, why is Frank
horrible.
Miller drawing Uncle Scrooge?
Yeah.
I don't know,
That
just-
looked like Scrooge was on acid.
It looked like
Yeah,
that and
he-
a duck that should have been roadkill but survived. That's pretty
It
much.
Oh yeah,
it
yeah.
looks like if I
didn't look like a
drew-
rich duck.
Yeah.
It looked
all
like
right,
if I
let's-
drew him with the wrong hand and like from memory. Like it's just a weird cover.
Let's move on, guys. Let's move on because I'm tired of looking at Nickelback. So we're gonna get to the
Thank
next
God.
line. But guys, big talk here because Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson are reportedly in talks with Marvel Studios to direct Avengers 5. Chia, you actually shared this with us earlier today. Now, this is pretty big news, right? Especially for Avengers 5. Let's dive into it.
I think Marvel Studios likes working with these guys. I think if they're actually doing Avengers 5, what that tells me more than anything is that these guys killed it on Daredevil, Born Again.
Yep.
They like for them to be considered for Avengers 5, I'd be like, yeah, they'd have to have killed it on Daredevil. And I found they did a tremendous job on Loki. You know, I said it every week on your show, man. It was incredible. The direction was great. I think they worked on Moon Knight too. That was a pretty strong series too. I like these guys as directors, honest to God. So them doing Avengers 5, I could see it. I like it. I thought they'd go maybe like a bigger movie guy like Sam Raimi or something, honestly.
Yeah.
But so this was a bit of a surprise to me, but I like it. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Well, listen, they did I think the 2 or 3 strongest episodes of Moon Knight. They did it.
Yeah.
They did Loki, which was arguably a top 10 Marvel property, if not higher. Loki 2. They are most likely, if this is true, when Marvel has seen the dailies at least of Daredevil, they're in love with what it is.
Yeah.
And to take it one step back, the fact that Moon Knight, Loki, and Daredevil are 3 different type of shows, and they may have killed all 3 of them. That's all we need to know about how why they're getting Avengers 5. And Avengers 5, from what we hear, is it's a large cast, right, with different things happening, and they probably needs different tones for different areas of what they're touching. I presume it'll be an escalation of the multiverse thing, as well as a congealing of the team, right? And maybe a time runs out adjacent movie, I guess.
Yeah.
So I remember Koi Jandro. I think I've mentioned him before. He was a massive fan of these guys, right? Right before when they were talking about Loki, and he goes, "It's going to be a very trippy thing." And I remember watching the first episode of Loki season 2, and I'm like, "Holy cow! The game has just been stepped up." That was an impeccable episode of television. It set the tone for the whole show. And Loki season 1 was excellent too, by the way.
Exactly. I was gonna say they were.
And it elevated it above it even. So then I'm like, okay, so I'm all for these guys, and plus they've already dealt with the multiverse stuff and what Loki's role is in that. So they're just gonna expand on that for me. That's what it looks like. So yeah, I rather have a guy like that. And by the way, the Russo brothers, they weren't big names when they got it. And I love Sam Raimi, but Sam Raimi is a very specific director. You have to be ready for a Sam Raimi movie. He has a lot of weird, cheesy stuff that he does there that are unique to Sam Raimi that sometimes modern audiences push back on. It happened with Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
I like the stuff. If you watched that scene where Scarlet Witch comes out of the glass and everything, it's incredible. The directing and the spinning and everything. Yeah, but he throws in his Sam Raimi flourishes that has an Evil Dead and everything that are a little bit kind of cheesy that sometimes people get really weird about, and I don't think a Marvel can afford that kind of thing on an Avengers.
The thing about the Russo brothers is, keep in mind, they did direct like 3 Marvel movies before they did the Avengers. They did like Winter Soldier, Civil War. Okay, they did 2, but and then Sam Raimi, I love all his movies, so I'm never gonna complain. Like I love the cheesiness, I dig it. So whenever he makes anything, I'm watching it. So that for him doing Avengers, I can't complain. Even with the cheesiness and whatnot, that to me is still like, nah, I'm locked in. I'm watching that day one.
You're a Raimi fan. Not everybody is though.
Yeah, for sure.
BC, what's your take?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I know that Benson worked on Loki, like you said, but there was also Moon Knight. Now, to be honest with you, I thought out of most projects that came out of Marvel post Endgame, right? We're talking TV series and everything. Those were up there. I know some people feel a certain way about Moon Knight, but I will say it's probably the better products that have come out. Now, I'm still nervous, of course, to see what's going to take place now within the MCU, because there's a lot of big key things dropping, right? We have X-Men, obviously. Now what we're seeing in the MCU, we've already seen Beast come. We know that the X-Men are coming. Fantastic Four is coming very soon. I just hope, they do bring the fire when it comes to Avengers 5. Do I have faith? Yeah, man. I think, with previous projects, clearly Marvel's got faith if they're thinking of running forward with them. And like you guys said, right, with Daredevil Born Again and stuff like that, they must already be impressing them. So we'll see from here. But all right. Cliff saying numbers are crazy, and I was not a huge fan of season 2. Yeah, he's talking about
he's wrong about that.
Talking about Sakai.
Sakai.
But yeah, so let's move on from this, because we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling, guys, because of course we're all wrestling fans here on the panel, and for some reason, I say this many times, comic fans tend to be fans of wrestling. We've all grown up with wrestling at one point in our lives, but if you opted out of watching wrestling for quite some time, well, there's some pretty good news coming regarding wrestling and the WWE, because Triple H says WWE will be uncensored once it makes its move to Netflix. Now, Triple H said on Pat McAfee's show, we won't have those issues with Netflix. And what are those issues he's talking about? Well, if you watch the product in the last couple of years, of course, it's been more PG friendly, right? It's been a lot more. I would say the product is more aimed towards kids, but clearly they've taken an edge. And the build up to WrestleMania from, the Royal Rumble and on was pretty intense, man. The Rock dropping F-bombs. They were really pushing their limits, right, on regular TV. So of course it was censored, but now moving to Netflix, it looks like that is not going to be the case. Now, on multiple occasions since it was first announced, Triple H has referred to WWE's Raw's upcoming move to Netflix as a game changer. Appearing on the Pat McAfee show on Monday, the WWE chief content officer explained one of the ways in which his company's presence on the streamer will affect its on-air product, pointing to the less restrictive nature of the platform, saying, right now, just as an example of us being on Fox, if the crowd starts chanting "holy shit" or something much worse, they just take that audio. Sometimes they take the picture and the audio off, and it's just a black screen, right? So that's something we've experienced, many times especially when the crowd comes, when wrestling comes to Montreal, or if they're in Boston or Chicago. Like, these are cities that do not hold back when it comes to wrestling. And, we've seen a lot of censored stuff. Nia Jax apparently just had a wardrobe malfunction. Not
Really?
I think it was this week. But
isn't it on TikTok though? That I think.
Yeah, but now, with the merge, with them merging over to Netflix full time as of January 2025, clearly they're starting to build up towards being a little more of an edgier product. And I think, once they lost that, they lost a lot of those true hardcore fans from back in the day, right? Those of us that grew up off of the Stone Cold era, the Attitude era, where we saw a lot of puppies, if you know what I'm referring to, we all grew up with that. Now, seeing the WWE taking this approach, like I said, from Rumble to WrestleMania was great. Everything that happened post WrestleMania up until now has been very lackluster. Everybody here, especially Chiapet and Anthony, know I'm a Cody Rhodes fan, but even his run has been completely garbage. There's nothing going on that is really exciting up until right now with the return of Uncle Howdy, Wyatt Six. I'm loving it, but
Yeah.
I think this move is great. I think people want to see some edgier stuff. I don't exactly want to see a bra and panties match. I don't care for it, to be honest with you. Bring me the wrestling. Fine, if you want to put the girls in, in their G-string or thong, sure. I really don't care for it. Realistically, I don't. But the edgier product, I think, is going to be something almost everybody's looking forward to here. And the lack of censorship. I don't want to see a censored product, right? If the crowd is chanting "holy shit," let it play through, man. Because when you hear that, live, it's such an experience, right? But when you're watching it on TV, the emotions take over, right? And the crowd makes the show, and we can 100% confirm that, especially within the pandemic where we saw screens, right? It was a little difficult. What do you guys think of the merge to Netflix?
I am so excited for it. Not just because I hate when they do those stupid blackouts where just like something's about to happen, it cuts to black or whatnot because some kid is pointing the finger to Nia Jax or some shit. I hate that they always do that. It's so often, I find, too.
Yeah.
Also, the whole thing, what I love about this Netflix deal, which a lot of people don't seem to mention, but all the WWE, everything WWE is in Canada is going to be on Netflix, which to me is so good because I like right now we have to watch it on Sportsnet. And I'm sorry, guys, Sportsnet is like, I always complain about it to everyone, the worst app of all time. Yeah. It's so broken. You try to rewind a little bit, the app completely breaks. I just can't wait. Now we can actually see it in HD in 4K on Netflix, and the app is going to be, working. So that'll be nice.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see where they take this whole like darker, I don't want to say like darker direction, but
edgier.
They're clearly going to be, edgier.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a bit of edginess in their wrestling, So
Everybody wants the Attitude Era back. That's for sure. But Chia,
we want to see blood again. We want to see blood. That's all we
yes,
want.
and a fucking pile driver.
We want to see some blading, Put some blading, guys.
The pile driver won't come back. That's because of it's a very dangerous move in general. So it's not because of the even they almost banned the curb stop because of the issue. They did ban it for a while and it came back. As for the look, I often think, at least when it comes to movies, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be great because it's R-rated." Did anybody watch Black Adam? It was R-rated. That was the most cartoon violence you ever seen. It's not. It doesn't feel real.
R-rated?
Yeah, it was R-rated. Yeah. Just because you could say fuck doesn't mean you should, or it makes for better storytelling or real storytelling.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, they skirted the line on network television, and they were able to do a really intense heel rock turn / show a little bit of blood, and when it was rare, the blood, it made it more impactful.
Yeah.
So I'm all for them. Like, man, I want to hear Drew McIntyre or CM Punk lay into somebody. I mean, CM Punk uncensored, it's going to be hilarious, or Seth Rollins. But if you do it every week, it just becomes like a kid who got, just learned the F word for the first time and just says
it becomes AEW.
So I hope they maintain the restraint. Okay, a little bit sometimes when you watch The Boys, which I love, or Invincible, I find the violence is so cartoonishly outlandish now, it doesn't impact as much. Then when you watch a thing like X-Men 97, an episode, was it 5 or 6? The episode that where we lost, the one on Genosha happened, that violence hit us.
Yep.
Because you're going along and this show is great, and then bang, it hits you. Right? If you're gonna see Invincible getting his ass kicked, like bloody every episode, like the first one when he got beaten by his dad, that one hurt because you felt it, right?
Yep.
But every other one, you kind of lose impact if it's every episode. Same as The Boys, And by the way, I think both those shows are exceptional, and The Boys has a lot to say about society in general that's covered up, and people don't pay attention to the reality of what it's trying to say. Except for this year, they've been more pronounced, but whatever. That's a whole other subject. But that's my worry. That's my worry with the Netflix thing.
Just to add to what you were saying, though, because I find AEW, that is one of the many things that they, that they tend to suffer over, is the fact that they overdo things, right? There's things that are being done so forced, and it feels forced, right? It's like, they'll do certain matches where they're like going way over the top, and it's just like, okay, this week we had a barbed wire match, and next week we're gonna have a 3 cages of hell or whatever it's gonna be.
Next week we're the guy. No,
wasn't one of the issues that CM Punk had with the other doofus is that the guy wanted to break real glass, and he's like, no, man, we don't do that here. That's not done here. Like what are you doing? Like Jack Perry, like I want to do something really, really asinine. And he's like, no.
To destroy a rental car for nothing.
Yeah. It's like why? What are you doing here? Like, what's the point of this? So as long as it serves to augment the story, the way that The Rock turning heel did, and how much better it was, yes, more of it. If it's not going to do that, and it just becomes a crutch to get little teenagers who love Rob Liefeld drawings because he's gnashing his teeth, and it's pretend intense and not really intense, then pass. Because I always come back to 2 movies that came out around the same time. You had Black Panther 2 and you had Black Adam. Black Adam was R-rated and supposedly was more adult. And the themes and the story in Black Panther concerning revenge, overcoming loss, and moving on, and forgiveness were a lot more adult. Okay, it's a better movie done by a better director. I understand that. But it's not an R-rated movie. And it dealt with serious themes, with dark undertones. At that moment where Shuri's about to, and then she's flooded with the memories of her brother and her mother, and telling her to show him who you are, and that brings her back from the moment of trying to do that. That's a powerful moment. And Namor's revenge, like that, to me, that kind of stuff is more adult. So I hope they maintain the storytelling that they've been doing, because it's been cooking everything other than the Cody stuff, that god awful mess, and then we're good.
I agree with you. Now, what's most important is, of course, that Netflix, once they move to Netflix as of January, we get the build up to WrestleMania. And of course, WrestleMania this year is going to be in Vegas, where it's Sin City already, baby. So, uncensored Sin City, who knows what we'll get. But April 19 and April 20, 2025, sorry, that's when Mania is taking place. Now, of course, the build up to Mania, like I said, for me, I think is always the most crucial point. And of course, if you watch the documentary with Triple H, the whole build up to WrestleMania this year and how many swerves they had to take on the road to WrestleMania, it was very interesting. It's available on YouTube, so definitely check it out. But I think once they move to Netflix, we're going to see a solid build again. If they can keep it along the lines of what they did right now with, the build up with The Rock, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, something along those lines where we get a build up of such, like you said, not an excessive amount of, forced swearing and whatever it is. It's just once it comes natural, I think it's going to do relatively well. So I always look forward to WrestleMania, definitely keeping an extra eye on it this year. Paying close attention. I think it's going to be a fun build-up, man. But speaking of WrestleMania, guys, Money in the Bank is in Toronto this weekend. That's right, man. Wrestling fans are pumped about this. So I'm going to ask you guys 2 predictions for this weekend's Money in the Bank matches. Of course, there's the women's one. So who do you guys think walks away with the women's Money in the Bank briefcase?
I think Lyra Valkyria is a lock to win. I'm going to be honest. I really do think she's going to win. My personal choice, I high-key hope Chelsea Green wins.
Yeah,
she's so good. She's so funny. Just give it to her. It's gonna be incredible. The failed cash-in she's gonna try to do and whatnot. It's gonna be so good. I want her to win so badly, but I think it's Lyra Valkyria's to lose at this point. I feel like they've been pushing her a lot. I wouldn't be shocked if she wins this.
Yeah,
it's Chelsea. She's winning it. It writes itself.
I'm praying.
It writes itself. The other ones don't need the push. They don't need a gimmick.
I don't even know why Zoe Stark's there. It should have been Dakota Kai. It should have been Dakota Kai.
Just imagine it's going to be a whole year of that stuff. They may even make her champion at WrestleMania. She's that popular.
Yeah.
Also, she's kind of hot. So, I mean.
No, not kind of.
I'm going to disagree there.
I really think she's winning it. I think there's not even a doubt in my mind. You elevate her to a status where she could be there on the show more often. She could try to do it and fail and not do it and not know how to do it, and people get in the way. It writes itself to at least Survivor Series.
I'm gonna agree with you guys on Chelsea Green. I think she's got a lot of potential and clearly she's a favorite. But guys, I can't help but love Tiffany Stratton. I don't know what it is, man. She's got a lot of potential.
She's incredible.
Still too early though.
That's the only reason why I wouldn't give it to her, because it's too early. I don't see her. This early in her career, her winning Money in the Bank. I don't see it. I could see it maybe next year or the year after.
Yeah.
Now it's like she's still a rookie to me, so I can't see her winning. Whereas Lyra Valkyria, I could see that she could take it.
Yeah.
Side note: how bad has Jade's rollout been? It's almost as bad as Cody's heavyweight championship reign. Both of those have been nowhere near what they could have. I think that she's developing as a character, so I give her the benefit of the doubt. But just the momentum hasn't been there for her, the poor girl.
Yeah, I don't want to hate because like she's good. Like it's just I don't know. I feel like they pushed her a bit too quick. I don't know why they gave her a belt and everything too. It just didn't.
It just hasn't
make sense to me.
They're trying to get her there, and she'll get there. I mean, look, man, Roman was a complete flop, and then he's the biggest name in the industry. Like seriously,
guys,
you remember Roman? He was
started, guys. He was
Roman was
John Cena,
everybody
keep up.
Yep.
And then he became massive because Roman had the look just the way Jade has. They have a look, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She walks in, she's impressive. Same as Roman. The guy walks in, you're in shock right away.
Agreed.
So you want to push that, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's not like Daniel Bryan, you know what I mean? Like there's a difference.
Yeah.
Now we went through the women's Money in the Bank. Let's give our predictions for the men's. Who do you guys think takes this?
It has to be Jey Uso, right? I don't see it being all these. Look, Chad Gable, Uncle Howdy's gonna kill him. He's not gonna win.
Yeah.
LA Knight has to fight Logan Paul at SummerSlam. Carmelo Hayes, once again, too early. I wouldn't mind seeing him when he's not bad. Drew McIntyre is going to get knocked out by CM Punk, who came back from the dead,
Yeah.
100%, because he's going to fight him at SummerSlam. And Andrade, they're burying him. I'm sorry, they're not doing much with him. I don't see him winning this. I'd be pretty surprised.
Yeah.
It has to be Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Why does it have to be Jey Uso?
It's gonna. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Jey Uso. Like,
But why? I mean,
he's so over. You see, like with the crowd and everything, he's over. There's no other way to put it. People
there's
love
no doubt
him.
about. Listen, there's no doubt about it. They put him over.
And-
It's funny because they wanted Roman to lose the belt a year before, and he said no. We're going to use this year to get Jay and I think Solo over, and that's what they did. And
he
got
did it with
them
Jay,
over.
not with Solo.
Yeah. Well, Solo's still kind of over now. I mean, the Bloodline was the biggest story biggest download of anything that happened when they beat up Heyman. So, I mean, as much as you want to hate on that, that's the reality.
Yeah.
Your boy hasn't been moving the needle at all. As
He's
far
fighting
as
the Bloodline now, so
but the Bloodline is getting more pop than he is. That's the bad thing. The Bloodline's getting more cheers than he is. As far as this,
people don't love AJ Styles.
I would love LA Knight to win it because I think he deserves it, and they've really hurt his thing. I want Drew to win it, try to cash in the very same night, and get screwed by CM Punk. That's the best because right now Jay doesn't need it. Like you said, he's over no matter who he fights. He's the number one babyface. You don't need it. Do we ever think Gable or any of the other guys have a chance to cash in and actually win anything?
No, I would say. I would say
Gable's gonna cash in on the Intercontinental. Like, come on,
maybe
he's gonna win though.
Maybe exactly. So they don't have the pop to that they're a threat when they have it. The thing about Priest was you're like, oh, he's up for a belt.
Yeah.
Right. They're gonna give it to him.
Yeah.
How are they gonna give Priest the belt? You know what I mean? That's what you thought, right? You know. So if Drew gets it, you're like, oh, Drew's gonna get it when he's gonna go to cash in because Drew came out and said, I'm cashing in that night. Right? On Monday Night Raw, I believe he said.
Did he say
I don't remember. He said, I'm going to be heavyweight championship at Money in the Bank. I'm going to, you know what I mean? And then he put on the CM Punk bracelet. So come on, man. He wins it. He goes to cash in on that night and gets clipped by Punk again, losing it. It writes itself. It's gold.
I don't know if Punk would if Drew were to win it, then definitely Punk's gonna screw him over. Now, one thing that people need to remember is that Punk is ready to be cleared at any minute now. So
he's cleared already, is what I heard.
There you have it. So if
guys, they're gonna fight at SummerSlam, I guarantee you. It's I'm locking that in. Yeah. That should be the main event, not Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. Like, give me a break.
Oh God!
Punk versus McIntyre. That's a main event for SummerSlam, right there.
LA Knight versus Logan Paul. That's gonna be a hell of a match.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. I can't wait for. I hope he wins LA Knight more than anything.
Logan Paul hasn't had a bad match.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Guys,
this is wrestling facts.
He's impressive in the ring. I'm not gonna lie. He's good.
One thing I just want to mention regarding this match is that you spoke Jey Uso, how he's over already now. When you look at Jey Uso, and when you look at the current storylines that are ongoing, you have the bloodline and all of that stuff. It's clear as day Roman Reigns is coming back as a face. So we're going to have bloodline versus bloodline. I do not see a strap around the waist of Jey Uso going into that battle. So in my opinion, I think Jey Uso doesn't walk away with the Money in the Bank simply because maybe something's going to happen here where he doesn't get the win. Maybe it will be Wyatt 6, which I don't know.
That'd be good.
But I think leading into that battle of Bloodline versus Bloodline, which is most likely going to take place at Survivor Series, guys. I don't think it's going to happen at SummerSlam. I think they're going to build this towards.
No, there's no way SummerSlam.
Oh, Bloodline is Survivor Series.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Roman's going to come back at SummerSlam, and then they'll set up the path to Survivor Series. But there's no way
I wouldn't be surprised if it's after that.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked if he comes back at SummerSlam, but it's not like a lock for sure.
Yeah.
Well, SummerSlam's a month away. I don't think the guy's coming back in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, but anyways, either way, I just genuinely think that Jey Uso won't be going into that battle with either the briefcase or a belt.
I could see him facing Priest or Gunther. That's why for Jey Uso, they already had the rivalries there. So him winning that and cashing in on one of those guys, because don't forget Gunther is fighting Priest for the belt. Or if Priest retains Money in the Bank at SummerSlam, he's fighting him because he's King of the Ring.
But I could totally see Drew McIntyre getting the win and then getting screwed when it comes time to
It
you know,
needs to be the same night. Everything has to happen condensed. It drives him mad. It's
yeah.
perfect
Yeah, if it
writing.
happens the same night, it's
Wait,
gonna be insane.
what
He's gonna freak
is
out.
there? What's the heavyweight match that night?
Seth
Who's
Rollins.
Priest fighting? Priest
Seth
versus
Rollins.
Rollins?
Yeah, he's already back. I was pretty surprised they cleared him so quick.
Oh my God! Please let Rollins win. Drew takes him out, and then Seth takes no. What's gonna happen is he's gonna cash in. He's gonna prevent, and then Priest is gonna retain by CM Punk.
Wait,
That
what?
way, Rollins doesn't lose clean because Drew
Mhm.
cashes in, right? And then Drew almost beats Priest. CM Punk interferes. Rollins doesn't lose clean, right? Neither does
I know.
Drew.
I don't think Drew would cash in during the fight. I think Drew would cash in.
During.
Yeah,
Oh,
after.
yeah, after the fight.
Or
You're right.
It would be
it's
after
a
the
bit.
fight.
It's more bold if he does it during. Imagine that'd be pretty insane.
Dude, I could totally foresee that Seth ends up back with the title heading into
Oh,
SummerSlam. 'cause
that would even
you
be
don't-
better.
Because then he has to fight Gunther, though. I don't know. I don't really care to see
Yeah,
that.
but they were building up to the Gunther versus Seth thing at one point.
That's
if I'm not
true.
mistaken.
For the Royal Rumble.
That was
I
on
think.
that was being flirted with, right?
So
And
this
they
is what
diverted.
I'm trying to lean towards is that I don't think at all that it's going to happen during the match. I think Seth might walk away with the title and then we're going to hear Drew McIntyre's music. Like it's probably going to be a hard-fought fight where he's going to get the W and then afterwards Drew's going to hit the cash in, Punk's going to fuck it up completely for him. Like you said, all in
Yeah.
one night and then we're going to get a build up.
Oh, and then that
And-
also brings up the storyline of Punk having given Seth his belt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that would be epic.
If
Exactly.
McIntyre wins the belt, then he's gonna fight. He has to fight CM Punk for it at SummerSlam. You know what I mean? That would be
All right.
insane.
All right, this
Bizzle,
is a good one.
Bizzle, Netflix, yes. Pay-per-views, at least in Canada.
Yeah.
Canada,
Yeah.
we're going to be getting
Everything.
it all. Yeah.
SmackDown, Raw, main event, everything in Canada on Netflix.
Yeah. So
So,
guys, that
I
was the
can't wait for
WWE
that.
talk. That was majority of the show, but we're gonna end it off on one big last topic that I said we were gonna talk about at the beginning of this show. And of course, I had to pull up the full article because the Acolyte seems to be a very controversial topic. And what do I mean by that? Well, people love it, people hate it online. Everybody's trashing it, and there's very few that do tend to put out publicly that they are enjoying it. Now, the Acolyte's true Disney Plus viewership is more impressive than first thought. So looking at this article, of course, you're going to see that, you know, people definitely giving their reviews, review bombing and everything when it comes to the Acolytes. You see a 2-on-5 here. And I believe this is Movie Web. Yeah, so there you go. But the reviews look a certain way, but the actual viewership is doing relatively well. So I'm just going to grab this here. However, it has become increasingly clear that this kind of constant attacking by a certain faction of the fandom does not have any impact at all when it comes to drawing in viewers. So the viewership seems to be doing great over on Disney, even regardless of the fact, right? Now, again, people feel a certain way. I'll be the first one to say openly here tonight that I am not enjoying the Acolyte at all, to the point where I got to episode 3 and I was like, I can't continue anymore. I just find, you know, Chia, you and I were talking earlier today, and you said exactly my thoughts when you said it really comes down to the dialogue, right? The dialogue within it has been so slow and boring. It was nothing appealing to me. 3 episodes in, it got to the point where within the episode, the girls are braiding their hair, and I'm just like, I don't care anymore. Like, that's really where I threw in the towel. Now, I don't know how you guys feel. For myself, the Acolyte, it just didn't work for me. You guys?
I'm gonna be honest for you guys. I just think it's a fine show. Like, I just think it's okay. Like, I'm not exactly. It did take a lot of big risks in the later half of what we're watching now. I don't want to spoil for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. It's taking big swings that I was pretty surprised, because I felt like a lot of these Disney Star Wars projects have just been super safe and super just
not at all.
you watch it and just like whatever. This to me was like, it took a lot more risks to show, and that's what I'm liking about it. That being said, overall, I think it's just okay. Like, I wouldn't call it bad at all. I wouldn't call it great. It's just fine more than anything. I'm enjoying it. Like, nothing made me want to turn it off yet. But to me, it's better than a lot of the like. I feel like a lot of the Disney Plus shows didn't really hit for me for Star Wars, so I feel like it's better than a lot of the shittier ones, but it's still not that great. I don't know. I had low expectations because of Disney, what they did to me with Star Wars. They failed me time and time again, except with Andor. Andor is incredible. Best show on Disney Plus.
Yep.
Best show on Disney Plus, no doubt, no questions.
Well, I think The Acolyte is a wonderful concept, great plot, doing a lot of cool things and bringing in a lot of the expanded universe and legends that all the hardcore anti-Disney Star Wars people that adored and wanted to, but now refuse to acknowledge that the Headland is doing, because she's actually shocking here, guys. She's a hardcore Star Wars nerd. She played Knights of the Old Republic, read all the expanded universe stuff. For me, the issue and what's weird about this whole thing is the faults with the Acolyte are not based on anything woke. They're based on the fact that the woman or whoever wrote the script or whoever directed the episode didn't get good performances from the actors. The concept and the story that it's going for is pretty cool, especially in the last 2 episodes. They're really good ideas, like strong ideas. But it suffers what the prequel suffered from a little bit, a shoddy script and tacky kind of Star Wars-isms, that a very few properties don't have. Now, what this article reveals and why I connected it more for our conversation is, it, as wonderful as what we do here, guys, and what we're starting here, what BC does there, what you guys do on Reference Point is, and how awesome it is, and how addicted to Twitter I am, and to what other things, though, any other device we are, it really goes to show that we are just a small slither of what the real population is. The noise that we make online, the review bombing and the weird disingenuous stuff, sometimes is not effective. Sometimes a family just gets home after a long day work. It's Tuesday night. They sit down with their daughters and their sons, and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna watch Space Wizards play with the lightning swords," and that's it. And it's an unwinding for a half an hour and 35 minutes, and they don't dissect every minute thing, and they're not like, "Why is that wooden? Why is that delivery wooden?" They're like, "Yeah, man, Soul's cool. Oh no," and then that's it. "Oh, there's twins," like they don't read the articles. Yeah. And to them, they're just going there because it's something to watch and it's Star Wars. And they're not as angry and as motivated to do it. Like, I'll just take it. So I think what it shows for me, this thing is that a lot of times what we feel is the reality when you pull back the curtain. Like, I remember stats from She-Hulk, one of the highest rated Marvel shows.
Yeah.
If you were to go online, you would think nobody saw it after they twerked. Like it was the most insane thing in the world. Meanwhile, I don't think anybody's ever read a She-Hulk comic, because she was doing all weird sexual innuendo stuff in all of her John Byrne comics. But I'm not even. That was the most She-Hulk thing of all the things in the show, if you ask me. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not telling you the show was well executed, but that fits into what She-Hulk's about. That's all I'm going to say. Now, so we are a small community. We think we're larger than we are, but sometimes people just want to go there. Star Wars has name recognition. Hulk has name recognition. People go and watch it. That's all that happens. Despite Andor being a far less ratings than majority of Star Wars properties.
Yeah.
It's the best show that Star Wars ever. It's one of the best things Star Wars ever done.
You're talking about Andor, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yes. And by the way, episode 5, the whole episode dedicated to the fight in this, is some of the greatest duels you'll ever see in Star Wars. It's absolutely fabulous.
It was a cool episode. I can't lie, and that whole episode watching live caught me so off guard, man.
Yeah, it's insane what they do. But one note about these, again, BC, what you described as not liking, that's well within reason, And I could actually understand that. I'm an easy mark. Like, I like Black Adam for all the cheesiness of it. I like cheesy stuff. I like Josh Whedon's Justice League. You know what I mean? Like, I could like no, not liked it, but I passed my time an hour and a half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw Flash and Superman run at the end. Like, I'm not like it's I'm not gonna put it up on the upper, but I wasted my time. I'll concede it. I'm an easy mark. My point is that when you see an article written or a video of a young lady talking about her first movie in The Hate You Give, and she's on the Daily Show, and she's describing how the book is so beautiful and how it creates empathy with her audience, and she's so proud that she made a movie that honored the book, and when she goes to movie theaters, the story is so powerful that it's creating empathy within the white audience, and they're moved to tears. And you take that and you snip it out there, and you create a clickbait title that says, "Acolyte actress wants white people to cry," when she's not referring to anything about the acolyte, but you emit all that information of why she wants it, and you're implying she wants you to cry over the fact that she's black and she's in Star Wars, or if she's gender fluid. I'm sorry, I'm calling her she when it's they. I mean, that's just a terrible force of habit. It wasn't intended. But my point is that you are some weirdo person, not the person who fell for it. I fell for it. My friend mentioned it. I'm like, gosh, maybe she felt attacked, or they felt attacked, and they reacted that way. Like, I didn't, because I don't think that somebody would be weird enough to go search that out and do that. So I think people like that are weird. Don't you have time? Like, don't you have things to do? Like, don't you have family and friends and
bro, to get a job, bro?
Like, I don't understand what's wrong with you that you go do this, and clearly you're not even having the effect that you want, because regular family people are just going to watch it and pass their time, and they don't care about who's a lesbian and who's not, and any of that stuff. They just want to have a good time watching the thing with their children.
Yeah, Chia, look, that's what it came down to. Like, for me, I don't care, man. I don't care. It's not my first. Look, I have gay friends, lesbian friends, transsexuals. I don't care. I don't care for any of that.
I agree.
It's not the reason why I tuned out. The main reason why I tuned out, like I told you, was just the show for me was overall boring. Nothing was intriguing. There was.
But I tell you, watch the 5. It's really good 5. Like, it's really.
Well, I'm gonna take your advice on watching episode 5 because you highly praised it today. But again, I just found the exchanges were boring. I was like, man, this is such a drag. Like, it was just hard to watch.
Episode 3 is a difficult watch.
I think it's because we were spoiled for quite some time, man. Like, I do to this day. Like, I enjoyed Mandalorian, I enjoyed Andor, I enjoy all these things, and then I even enjoyed Ahsoka, man. I know some people.
Ahsoka was good.
I thought Ahsoka was like a lot of filled potential, but I like the show overall. It's just like Obi-Wan, I didn't like Mando season 3, I didn't like Boba Fett.
Yeah,
it's just been disappointing me. And this one,
it's all good.
Yo,
guys,
I have taste, man.
You're talking about the guy who came from a time where Stargate Atlantis was the only thing on television, and reruns of Star Trek Next Generation.
Just because you went through hard times doesn't mean I gotta like bad stuff.
Stop whining and appreciate what we got.
Yeah,
but I was thinking for Blackground, you don't like the show, but you're not going online and saying women ruin Star Wars and the lesbians suck.
But what I'm
I'm
saying
a loser online.
At the end of the day, even if you did, the reality is we don't really move the needle that much.
No, at all.
The Star Wars name still holds sway over the reality. Now, because we've alienated certain people, or people that feel alienated, maybe it doesn't hit 1 billion and hit 800 million or 700 million. But the name recognition is still there, and it transcends what we scream and shout like old men at the deli trying to return soup. You know what I mean?
But Chia, 100% that the name recognition will always, hold its own. But I think if this is the type of product, forget all the stuff surrounding it. I know people feel a certain way. Everyone's entitled to their opinions on personal shit.
No matter how bad your opinion is.
Eliminate all of it. Eliminate all of it. When it comes to the actual show itself, I personally am not enjoying it. It's as simple as that. So I hope we can take Star Wars and bring forth projects again, like we got with, obviously the original movies, bro. Even people hated episode 1. I loved episode 1. And dude, I watched it in theaters and I was mind blown. I was a kid, right? For me, dude, the pod racing and everything, I was just like, this is phenomenal, right? So
Yeah,
I was on board 100%. Now,
and some
I love
kids
7
feel
and
the
8,
same
guys. I
way.
love 7 and 8.
Some people are
sorry.
going to see this now. The faults that people saw in episode 1, another young girl is going to see this and say, I love Acolyte.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't come from the same lens that we come. Like, I used to love Rob Liefeld's art. I thought Rob Liefeld was better than Mike Mignola.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I was a child, like I was a child. That's what I thought. I thought to myself, oh, this guy's cool. Look at the intensity. You don't pay attention.
Look at all the pouches.
Yeah, look at the pouches. How many guns can a man have, and why does he draw his gun so terribly?
How big could a gun be, and how big is too big?
All I'm saying, he hates feet. All I'm saying is, I think at the end, these things are for kids that we get to enjoy. So I think we put a lot more analysis in these things than we need to. And people have also made a cottage industry out of analyzing and hate mining and praising it and analyzing it. And there's like a little cottage industry that people are making a living off of, and they've weaponized certain things, and they've kind of like, and us who want to go talk about something we love, go to these things, and everything has become a little bit perverted, right?
Yeah,
that's what's happened with everything.
It's like you can't even praise it without people shitting on you. Like for the ref point, like I was saying before with the reels, like we didn't even like, people were like, "Oh, your shills, you're paid by Disney." I'm like, man, I wish. First off,
and who's getting paid by Disney, bro?
But guys, you're all entitled.
You shit on the episode in it. It's ridiculous, man.
Look, this is why I enjoy having you guys on, because obviously, Anthony, you bring a perspective. Chia, you have a totally different perspective majority of the time, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Music.
And just to give you an idea, you love the show. I hate it. That's where we stand.
But I do not love the show. I love the idea of the show. I love what it's trying to do and the history it's mining. I am disappointed in the performances by the majority of the cast. And yes, bro, JF, yes.
JF saying kids.
Yes.
Kid doesn't know the struggle we had before Pornhub.
You don't even know the scrambled blue type of thing that you used to end up watching, dude, in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
scrambled scenes and trying to catch a glimpse.
Yeah, we went from scrambled TV in order to catch a glimpse, to catch a titty, and then after we ended up getting a ton of viruses by downloading on Ares, LimeWire, Napster. Yeah, Napster, dude. That's how I learned about Heather Deep Throat. That's how I learned. But yeah,
next episode about Heather Deep Throat.
Pacino knows that's old school.
One last thing I want to mention about this before we wrap up the show is that, Chia, we were talking earlier today how we feel this show may have benefited from a full series drop in one shot, because I think that also played factor, right? Like by the time I got to episode 3, I realized, like, man, I'm 3 weeks in and I'm still not on board. Like at this point, I'm gonna wait for it all to drop. Now you're recommending episode 5, so now I kind of feel like, okay, I could go 4 and 5 back to back, right? Like that's what I feel maybe is also another thing that's kind of, putting a
I kind of disagree with that, because if I have to binge this, I feel like if I'm bored after 2 episodes, I'm just gonna give up. I'm not gonna continue.
No, but
if I have a week wait, it's like a buffer zone of like, okay, I could watch it now. Like I waited a week, it's another 40 minutes. Right? Who cares?
But a lot of issues with the show are, why are they acting this way? Right? The question mark.
Yeah.
If the mystery makes why they're acting this way logical, it betters the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But people have 8 weeks to complain about those things until the mystery is solved.
Yeah.
If it's a drop, that dude who's complaining has already seen the 8 episodes and is like, oh, it makes sense. I'm not going to complain about this, because once they watch the end of the episode, they're going to realize I'm a doofus. right?
Exactly.
So
It's just, I don't know if I would
and there's-
finish a
and there's-
show more than anything.
and there's short
Such a
episodes
big
too,
time
by the way.
commitment.
Yeah.
And there's short
Yeah.
episodes too, like Echo. Everybody
Echo.
finished Echo. Echo was
Yeah.
a massive. Sorry, it wasn't a massive hit. It was a way bigger success than anybody anticipated was going to happen with Echo. If we
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
a year ago, people thought it was going to be the death nail of everything, and then
Yeah.
people came out and like, oh, it's okay, like it could have been
It's
better,
fine.
but it was fine, And then
Yeah.
it hit with X-97, right? So I think one of the big problems with all the Disney shows, and X-97 was a big difference in that, and I think Loki was a little bit there too, is a lot of times you just feel like movies chopped up.
Yeah.
And this feels a little bit like a movie chopped up in that sense. It doesn't feel episodic. Like episode 3 and 4 should have been one episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should have been. You have to see them what I'm talking about. Because if you
I haven't seen
end on
4,
whatever,
so
if you end episode 3 on how episode 4 ends, nobody's complaining about episode 3. Despite the power of one, the power of many, which is atrocious.
I'll take that, and of course give it a watch. So that's pretty much the conversations for today on What's Poppin' episode 1. Now, one thing I want to shout out: we spoke LimeWire, we spoke about Heather Deep Throat. You got to shout out Sky Lopez. Sky Lopez was another one I came across back in the day. Yeah,
Sky Lopez,
Sky Lopez, Jana Michaels. I could keep going, bro. But anyways,
I'm
know
more
you
of the
can, man.
I'm more of the Jenna Jameson time.
Jenna Jameson.
Nobody's doubting your knowledge, I promise.
Yeah, no, for sure. But guys, that was episode 1 of What's Poppin'. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, if you're catching the replay, definitely comment below. Let us know what you guys thought. And of course, for the next episodes up and coming,
LimeWire.
yeah, LimeWire. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Of course, there's so much news that drops pop culture related. We had ideas of going through Funko Pops, more different things, and like I said, there's just been so much news. So of course, if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, man, hit us up. We'll definitely go through those conversations. Yes, Derek, rest in peace. BC's parents' computer. Yo, fun fact. We had a computer guy. His name was Kono. He was a Greek guy. And he would come over, and my real name is Jolando. He would be like Geronimo. He would call me Geronimo for some reason. And
This is a stupid idiot Greek. Like
the guy would come over at least once a month to like clear out viruses, and my parents had no idea what was going on, but he knew. He saw all the problems.
Yeah, obviously. No.
So
Come on, Geronimo.
I understood after the third time he came, like, okay, I got to be careful with what I'm downloading because this guy might judge me, right? So, so yeah, but guys
might judge you.
Yeah, that was episode 1. I hope you guys had a good time. Like I said, let us know. Comment below what you thought about the show, and of course, for future topics, hit me up on Instagram.
We're probably gonna. We're probably gonna also have a Deadpool review because we're probably all watching it on the same night.
Thursday night.
And then we'll probably have a Deadpool review. I hope it's as good as Loki was, and I hope you guys will join us on that for sure.
There you go. And of course,
good time.
Yeah, Anthony ReferencePoint Podcast, I guess, is on pause for now up until further notice.
Yeah. Well, we're releasing stuff. We're gonna be going to Montreal Comic Con tomorrow, actually.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna be filming a couple of things. It's gonna be fun. You see us on the floor. Maybe we'll film you. We'll ask you something, a couple questions. You never know, guys. Come see us.
Are you gonna be there all weekend, Anthony?
All weekend.
Are you gonna go to any of the panels?
Yeah, I bought the tickets to the Kevin Smith one. That one I'm guaranteed going to. I'm gonna see if I can make it for the X-Men one. The with Jed McKay and everyone.
Yeah, I don't think you don't have to buy tickets out. If you want.
You don't have to. That's just for the VIP experience, and don't really need that. I just
want to see. Maybe we'll meet up on the X-Men one. Maybe we'll go on the X-Men.
Sounds great.
So guys, if you're headed to Montreal Comic Con, keep an eye out for obviously the 3 of us. I'll be there most likely on the Sunday. I had plans for tomorrow, but not happening. But yeah, man.
I'm shocked. Gerlando had to bail on plans.
There you go.
I'm shocked.
Come on, Geronimo.
Yeah, Geronimo.
I'm still not sure if Gerlando or Geronimo are gonna end up at the Terrificon.
Maybe not. Maybe you'll just see BC. BC is gonna be there. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in for episode 1. And of course, I'll be back this Sunday doing the weekly comic wrap up. I was away last week, but I'll be back. So definitely tune in this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and I will catch you guys there. Have yourselves a great rest of the week. Happy 4th of July again, and have yourselves a good day, good night, whatever time it is that you're watching this episode. Adios.
Yeah.